Welcome back. This is Heidi Easley with Texas Art and Soul, and we are painting a Highlander cow, and I'm going to be painting the sunflowers. Now, if you're brand new, I just want to say hello, welcome. I'm glad you came across this video. If you would like the free tracer, all you have to do is go to paintpartycow.com, grab the free tracer, and you're going to have access to trace this so it's ready to go. Now, we have over 10 videos of this cow breaking every single thing down, from the flowers to the hair, the shaggy hair, to how to do the eye, how to do the blending background, everything. If you want all over 10 videos, you can get them for just $10 right now. So very excited to share that with you, and you kind of have your own library of all of that. So very excited. So just head over to paintpartycow.com, grab your free tracer, and it'll show you what to do next. So today what I'm showing you is how to make flowers for this cutie pie that I named Piper. Now, this Highlander cow can have anything. It could have a Santa hat. It could have a crown. It could have a top hat even. Oh my gosh, I might have to do that next. It could have anything, but what I wanted to do was throw on some really cute sunflowers, and I want to show you how to do that. So I traced it first with the free tracer. Then I'm using an orange twist. So you can use any colors you want, but I'm kind of using an orange twist color so it goes well with these turquoises I already used earlier. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab anywhere the little petals are and just fill it in. There's nothing major happening right now. There's no major details yet. I'll show you that in a second, but we're just going to get them filled in. So I'm using just a round brush, about a 6 round. You can grab any size brush you want that feels right, but I'm just going to use a 6 round. And then I'm only doing these petals in an orange twist color. And I want us, as we've been doing in all the videos, to go ahead and just take a deep breath. Take a moment to be thankful for being able to take some time to paint, whether you're just watching this in hopes of painting it soon, or maybe you're watching this just inspired that, you're going to get out your paints. Maybe it's been a while, or maybe you paint all the time and this is a new exciting idea you can use for your paint parties. I want you to just hopefully take a minute to take a deep breath, relax, be grateful that we get to be creative, that we get to do really cool stuff. So take a moment and just notice that for a second. Now, again, just adding this on, nothing major yet. No details needed, very simple. And here's the cool thing about this painting. This is made for beginners. So once it's all finished, you might think, oh, I don't know, it's so cute, but I don't know if it's for beginners. Yes, it's for people who have been painting a long time. They can get way crazy, more detailed or wild, but it's also for beginners. And so I want you to know that, because when you're making money teaching a paint party, you don't want something too difficult that they can't have success with. So we intentionally made this design to where you could have success with it. Right here gets a little tricky because we're overlapping some flower petals. So just be cautious of where that's at. But that free tracer is going to help you a lot. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot on the shaggy hair? I forgot to bring some of the shaggy hair out there. Now I'm a poet. Let me go ahead and do that. I forgot the shaggy hair. So I'm going to go back to my smaller brush. And if you saw the earlier video, and if you missed it, don't worry. You can go to paintpartycow.com, sign up for the free tracer, and you can actually buy the entire library of this cow, the sweet cow Piper, so that you can come back to it. So I'm just using my round brush, and we show in one of those videos. The videos are broken into over 10 videos. I think we have 11 actually, but it's only $10, and you'll be able to come back to it as much as you want. So it's definitely worth it, because you can grab it and just whenever you have the chance to come back to all the videos, you can. And they'll be in a safe place where you can just get them and not have to stress about losing them. but I show how to do the shaggy hair. And then I forgot to do this part of the shaggy hair. Sorry about that. Okay, now I can take a smaller brush, like a liner brush, and go in with some of my lighter color. So you kind of get a little bonus in this one. Then we're going to add some white to it, get some variations. Okay, and then since we did some black highlighting down here, I'm going to do the same thing with this. So I'm going to grab my 1-inch brush, and if you're nervous about doing a brush this big, just go to your smaller brush, but sometimes I have just a little bit more control on this one. So it just depends on how you feel. Okay, so there we go. Now we got our hair added. Okay. All right, so what I want to do now is we have our flowers started, just the basic parts of it. What we want to do is go ahead and fill in the center with one of our brown colors. So we can take that burnt sienna we used earlier, maybe a little bit of the burnt sienna and the raw sienna, and we can kind of mix those together, just get a little bit of a different shade, but still, you know, congruent with what we've been using. So I'm going to kind of swoosh this in here. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to need all the videos so I can pause, keep going back to it, please make sure you go to paintpartycow.com, get all the videos. You'll get the tracer for free, and then you can purchase the videos for just $10, and they'll be yours to keep forever. So make sure you go grab that for just $10, so you can go back and watch each and every little part that I show, so that you can have a whole finished cat. How cool would that be? We're also going to talk about how turning it into different seasons and how easy that is. So how cool would it be to not only have a fun painting, but then making it into a Christmas painting or a fall painting, however you want to do that. Okay, so I'm just filling this in with that raw sienna and burnt sienna. Not adding details yet, just basically color blocking. Okay, so while that dries, we're going to take some green and just add in this really light green. This is called a sour apple. So we're going to add in sour apple to these leaves for our kind of like our flower crown for Piper. Okay, so we're going to grab that sour apple and just pull that in there. The reason why I'm doing the sour apple first is because I don't want the dark green to compete too much with the background. And if it competes too much, then we won't be able to see the leaf at all. And it's okay to have some shading, some highlighting, some low lighting, all of that, but I don't want it to compete too much. I still want it to be able to be seen. Another really cool thing as I'm adding this on here that I wanted to share with y'all is when you teach your paint party, do you ever get nervous? Okay. One of the biggest fears of people is rejection. And a lot of times, you know, public speaking comes with rejection because people get nervous or they don't know if they're saying the right thing. I remember one time I was teaching a party. It was one of my first parties, and I was so scared. I had every single step written out, like grab this brush, put blue here. Like I had every single step written out. This was before I started making flyers where people could just, in Paint Party headquarters, we have flyers with the steps that we just let y'all print so you can have for your parties. It's very, very helpful. But at that time I didn't. I'm going to add a third little leaf here. Anyway, so I was so nervous of what they were going to think of me. Then I kind of took a moment. I took a breath, took a moment, and I looked around and I noticed everybody was staring only at their canvas. I think when you first start doing this, you think that people are looking to you to prove your worth as a creative, as an artist, blah, 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 whatever, right? Whatever story we're telling ourselves at the time. What I have learned through years and years of doing this is when somebody comes to a paint party, they are not even, they're just there to have fun, and they are looking to you to help them not only have fun, but to accomplish something like this. So when we stop putting all the attention on ourselves and we start putting it on those people and how we can help them and how we don't know their story, you know, they may be showing up. I had a lady one time that showed up, just found out she had cancer, um, you know, devastated. And she told me at the end of the party, she's like, I just found out and I'm so grateful that I get to spend, you know, I just spent the last 2 hours not thinking about it. And oh my gosh, that was so powerful. So powerful. Because that's what we do when we teach these paint parties. We get people a chance to escape what is going on. We have people concentrating right now to put this little color block in. So they're not thinking about what's going on outside of that. They're just enjoying the moment. And it's so, so powerful. So don't ever disregard the opportunity you have for other people and how you can help them. Very, 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 very big, you know, potential of what you can do to help people. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a second. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same brush that I rinsed. And this yellow is not a traditional yellow I use. It's called Summer Squash. I just wanted to keep it a little bit more muted because I wanted to keep this kind of color theme going in with this. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take the Summer Squash and just put little bits on these leaves. Not a lot. And you can see it's very swooshy, very basic. We're going to get into some outlining here in a minute, but I just want a different shade on here. Now, if you have been painting for years, you can just blend it. Another thing is if you feel like you put too much yellow, you can always go back to that orange color and then blend it in. So I can almost go from yellow to orange, and then it just gives it some dimension. So you have kind of like a lighter side on one side, but you still have that great orange. And you can see how I'm making some goof ups here. I'm actually getting green and yellow on my cow on Piper. I'm going to show you in an upcoming video how to work on goof ups, how to fix them. Also, we're going to talk about how to bling this thing out, how to add some glitter, how to, if you want to add some sequins, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you have not purchased the videos, they're only $10 and you get over 10 videos, so less than $1 a video of me teaching you every single step of this cute Piper. And whatever you named yours, I know you may have named it something else. You can borrow that name, I don't mind. But I named mine Piper because she's adorable and I love that name. Okay. All right, so I'm going to rinse that. I got my yellow in there. I got my green. Now what I want to do is just take the same brush. We're not switching brushes. And I'm just going to use some of that lighter brown that we used from before. And basically just kind of smoosh it. Just kind of like the edge of it. And this again can be where your painters could spend hours. But look, just dabbing. At a paint party one time, and we're going to use the back of the brush in a second, but I was teaching just the sunflower, a ginormous sunflower, and one lady used the back of her brush and it turned out gorgeous. But she turned it over, which is what we're about to do, and she ended up doing, I'm going to use yellow. I'm going to go ahead and go with the yellow in the back of the brush. She ended up going so detailed with all of the dots. I mean, I think she probably spent 45 minutes just on dotting. Ideally, we had the time, so she was able to do that. I did eventually have to say, okay, we're starting to wrap it up. But I think it's important when you're teaching your paint parties that you kind of give a timeline. So if I say, okay, this is gonna, we're gonna do the dotting for about 2 minutes. I know that seems extreme, but it really shouldn't take you that long. What that does to a person with, especially like an A-type personality, where they want, perfectionism, and a painting like this, obviously we're not going for perfectionism. These are not realistic flowers, you know what I'm saying? So what it does to that type A personality, that perfectionist personality, they go, oh, this is supposed to be done in a minute. It might freak them out a little bit, but at least they know we're not going for perfection. And I think when you set expectations like that to your painters, just like I'm setting expectations to you, it takes away the pressure. It takes away a lot of that pressure you could have put on them, where you're like, oh, it has to be perfect. The thing that makes me frustrated with paint party business owners, and I'm going to move to black and just do a little bit of dots of black in there, is when they will paint a painting with like 15 different brushes or something, and then they'll only bring like 2 crappy brushes for the artists that are going to be painting, and they're expecting them to get the same results. So when I paint, I always paint with like a 2-inch brush, a 1-inch flat, a round, and a liner. And I do that on purpose because if I'm going to reteach this, I want to know that with the cheaper brushes I buy, they can get that result because I was able to get it. If I went and spent, $10 a brush and was like, oh yeah, here's my beautiful painting, good luck. Man, it puts so much pressure on them. And then they're not able to get it done in the amount of time. Another little tip for you is if you can paint it in about 45 minutes, that's going to take your customers about 2 hours. I'm going to use black with a liner. I'm just going to kind of outline messily. This is not a perfect circle. Messily. Just outline it very messy. If you want the free tracer, go to paintpartycal.com and grab your free tracer. But yeah, what happens is you got to go, okay, you're going to be painting a little bit faster, especially if you've had some practice with this, than your painters. And a lot of times, as a paint party host, you don't have to technically paint the whole painting. So there's been many times where I'll say, here's what we're doing. Then I'm spending my time walking around helping people. I find that that's a better use of my time. I obviously will walk around with the painting and show the next step, but I'm never really worried about having this perfect painting because it's more about building relationships and helping them than it is me trying to have an ego view of, I need to make sure mine looks exactly like this so that they value me as an artist. Nope, they're valuing you as a teacher, and that's what they need from you. They need for you to teach. Think of like a football coach or even a gymnastics coach, right? Obviously, even in gymnastics, people retire and they can do that stuff, or they were a football player for a long time. But when they're coaching you, they're not out there, showing out their tackling skills, or they're not out there showcasing their double backflip, tuck, blah, 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 right? No, they're coaching you. They need you to be their teacher. They need you to be their coach. They don't need you to be on the side proving how great of an artist you are. You're there to teach them in a paint party setting and help them have fun. Not just, hey, this is what we're doing, but you're going to have a great result, but also to have fun. So it's a really fun responsibility. And besides the fact that it's fun, you can make a lot of money. We just saw a post on Paint Party headquarters. Somebody had a very small party, and I always say, don't discount small parties. Small parties give you big opportunities. And the reason why I say that, and it happened to her too, I had a party of around 4 people. I didn't cancel it because it was really close to my house. They had already paid. I mean, literally just a couple blocks away. And I was like, I'll just go over there. It's not a big deal. I made such great relationships. It led to so much more business because I was able to have more time with them. We got to know each other. Same thing happened to a girl in Paint Party headquarters. She had 2 people that prepaid that showed up, but the person liked her so much, she booked her for a recurring restaurant event every month. So now she has an opportunity. She doesn't need a brick and mortar. She can use some marketing skills. She can use our marketing flyers, all of that great stuff, and actually start making money every month just because she didn't turn down a small party. And I think sometimes people get in a space of, oh, only 2 people signed up, it's a complete failure. It's not always. Sometimes those are some of the biggest successes. Okay, so we just added that. Now what I want to do is grab some white, and I'm just going to add some highlights to this, okay? So if you missed the other painting tutorials, we have over 10 videos on this cute cow Piper. If you missed any of those, just go to Paint Party Cow, download your free tracer, and then there'll be an offer for you to buy all of the videos, where they'll be housed on one page for you for just $10. So I don't know how long we're going to keep that up, but we will keep, if you buy it, you'll have access to that forever. So make sure you purchase it while you have access, while we're offering it. Because it's only $10. And how cute is this thing? And then you'll get all these videos that you can pause, go back to, because this video will go away. We're not keeping it up forever. Okay, so cute. It's coming together. We're just adding these. Look at how simple that is. Just these little white lines. Okay, so I'm going to turn my brush over again. I can do some little white dots in here. This is where if you want to just kind of go on like maybe the left bottom, you don't have to do the whole thing. Sometimes people choose to do the whole thing. Just going to kind of do the left bottom and see what I think. And if I like it, I'll keep it. If I don't, then I'll move it over. Okay, all right, so now we have our green base for our leaves. This is where I'm going to go back with a round brush. Before I add some just kind of lines inside it, I just want to get a little bit more of that green. So I'm all about kind of having a good base. So if it looks like you can see through it, just add a quick little coat on top of it. It just takes a second, and acrylic paint dries so fast. Why not, right? If it looks too streaky and you're not loving that, just quickly just add on a second coat. Look how fast that took. It took no time. So I can go to this dark green if I want. And see how by adding that little hint of dark green, it instantly has dimension. That's it. Just a smidge of dark green. And this, we talk about blending in the other video. We talk a little bit more about blending, but this is just another little trick of blending. Just a little smidge. And that's it. All right. So now what I want to do is go back to that liner brush. Take that black paint, grab it, and I'm just going to outline this leaf. Actually, all 3 leaves. I hope you've had so much fun with this. I hope you have purchased all the videos for $10 because you're going to get a true feeling of how to put this all together, from all the way from how to trace it on a canvas to exactly how to get a finished product, with so many extra fun things in between. Now I'm just going to add, actually I'm going to use my big brush again. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to bring it and make it really good and thin. And I just want it to be a really little line. So good and thin. Good and thin. Okay. And now I can just do. You have to make that noise. It only works if you make that noise. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It feels like it to me. It feels like the noise is powerful. And then I'm going to grab the same brush with the white. Make sure it's good and thin. And then this is where you can just do a little dab. Dab, dab. Because I'm painting wet on wet, you can see how it's getting that green. Just want just a little hint. That's it. That's it. Okay, so now we have added the flowers. You can get more fancy, less fancy, whatever you want. And the next video is going to be showing you some more like highlighting and detailing and outlining. So if you want to join us for that, make sure you go to paintpartycal.com and grab the free tracer. It'll give you another page where you can easily buy all the videos for just $10. So again, paintpartycal.com, you'll have access to buy all the videos that teach you this from beginning till end for just $10. And it's going to show you our next video, which is highlighting and detailing and outlining. So many fun things coming. All right, thank you so much for watching.